Hey everyone, welcome to the Alabama Take series, exclusive to the Alabama Take website and to our YouTube channel. We're called Short Takes. I'm your host, Blaine Duncan. Short Takes is a cursory interview talk show with one of our favorite artists, writers, painters, you name it. We try to get them all. It's our pleasure to talk to some of the best and most fascinating people, but here's the trick. We limit ourselves to 4 questions, and that 4th question is always the same for everyone. With me today is drummer extraordinaire for the Glory Fires and the Williamson Brothers, a firebrand for years in the Birmingham music scene. It's Mr. Blake Williamson himself.
Hey, Blaine, good to have you. Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
And, well, I'm booming into your house as well, so I'm a guest of yours as well this evening.
Welcome.
Hey, you and your brother, before we get into the 4 questions, I'd like to just let folks talk a minute about what's happening. And you and your brother have recently released this fantastic song called Avenue H.
Yes.
And I've pegged it as being just like this sonically and even lyrically snapshot of your general personality.
Well, maybe, yeah, kind of. It definitely has a pessimistic attitude to that song for sure.
It's just sonically, it's kind of eases into every section of the song, and I just feel like that's what I always think about you. You kind of ease into life a little.
Yeah, so that song's about going to South by Southwest, mainly with Lee Bains. Like we go there every year pretty much till last year, and it got canceled. And I kind of came up with that song around that time, and but the song's about our friend Tim, who recorded our previous records.
Yeah,
and
Tim Kerr, right?
Tim Kerr, and he lives in Austin. So when we're there, we always try to stay with him if he's in town. So the trick to navigating South by Southwest is leaving South by Southwest when you're not playing and going hanging out with Tim, and you can skateboard in the driveway or talk about punk rock and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the what that song kind of embodies, and he's like the feedback master too, so it's very appropriate to have like tons of feedback in your song. And
absolutely,
yeah.
He produced Red Dust Rising, and I think of some of those ends of those songs with all that feedback. So masterfully done.
Certainly, that's his claim to fame, for real.
Yeah, it is. That can be found at williamsonbrothersal.bandcamp.com. Is there anywhere else people can go get that?
That's it for now. We'll have like physical copies at some point too. So
that's awesome.
And we'll post all that stuff if anybody's interested. Just follow us. There's Williamson Brothers RTR at Instagram. We'll kind of have all that stuff on there too.
Yeah, we'll plug that at the end just in case anyone forgets. How'd that recording come to be?
Really, over the last 2 or 3 years in my downtime, I've been coming up with songs, and I kind of started playing piano a little bit, especially right when COVID started and I wasn't working or touring. We'd canceled everything. So I started just writing songs and making demos. And I'd been kind of doing that for a few years. And then once I had all this free time, it's like, well, let's put them together. And Adam, my brother, was really instrumental in kind of helping me focus them and like, let's actually do it. Don't just make these songs and don't record them, So he kind of nudged me to do it. And Matt Patton called me to talk to me about something totally not off topic, And I asked him about, what do you think about me recording some songs up there? And he was just all over the idea. So we went up there and recorded with him, and he wanted to put it out. So he's the one putting it out. So
okay.
We finished up the artwork the day before yesterday, and we have a whole album to follow. So
we're talking a full LP.
Yeah, it'll be full. It'll be a 9-song LP.
Oh, that's thrilling, dude.
Short and sweet. So within the next couple months, we'll have that available to everyone. So
awesome. Well, count me in, man.
Yeah, of course.
And you are still very much part of the Glory Fires. I think you guys are even working on music there. Is that can I say that here on the show that you guys are working behind the scenes?
Oh, absolutely, man. Lee, especially, he's been putting in the hard hours. Like the
Yeah,
recording part is the easy part. Really, it's the finishing and the little decision making, and all that stuff along the way.
yeah.
But I will say, Lee has a fantastic batch of songs that he came up with, and I'm really excited for that record to come out. Um, I've never been more proud of a record ever. So,
Really?
whether anyone likes it or not, I don't. Doesn't matter. I'm really excited about it. So,
Well, that's saying
you
a
know,
lot. Seeing you've played on a lot of recordings and all of his first three albums, of course.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This one's kind of different from the last two. It's got a lot more somber moments to it, but it's lyrically and sonically a much slicker kind of deal for us, and I'm really excited about it.
Fascinating. Man, all of that's so thrilling, especially when you said you started tinkering with some piano stuff. That's so interesting to me. We at our house we have a piano that I can't play. It's just sitting here, but
Yeah, I'm not saying I took lessons and got good or anything. I just started kind of, I picked out some chords and started, making some tunes, and some of them were cool, some of them weren't. We
that's
did it anyway.
fantastic. All right, you ready for your 4 questions?
Yeah, let's do the questions
Let's
here.
do the questions. Let's get in the show here. So, for a long while there, everyone was cooped up, pandemic stuff. So, tell me something you learned about yourself during those times that you didn't already know.
Well, I guess I realized that I'm much more of an extrovert than I gave myself credit for. I always kind of feel like I'm always the chill guy that's not all up in everything. But man, I I have trouble like not being able to like see my people or just some people to like just discuss and talk things out in person. Like all this, I've done Zoom calls and
Yeah.
all this house party stuff or whatever. Um, and it's not the same. Like it's
No.
hard. It has been so hard to like, yeah, I want to slap somebody on the back when they tell me a joke, and that
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 is you, man. That is you.
yeah,
100%.
yeah. And I always thought, and I always considered myself, I can live by myself, and I would be overjoyed. But turns out I was completely wrong about that. Like, I need human companionship, and that's the you know the biggest thing I've learned. I need people, like, and we all need I think everybody needs each other, and that's
Yeah.
not something I really had thrust upon me before, and that I'm kind of grateful for it to know that, because now maybe I'll appreciate all the people that much more.
That's good,
So
man. Yeah, well, I can't believe you didn't know that about yourself. I always thought you were fairly extroverted. In a good way. In a good way. Extroverts
no,
are awesome.
that's just the beer talking.
So, all right, we'll go to question 2. What's something you wish people knew who came to, let's say people who come to shows or just kind of into music or even serious music junkies? What do you wish they knew about being a drummer?
I wish they knew how expensive it was. I wish they knew like all the little, a guitar player should show up with his guitar and make sure it's got strings on it, and make sure his amp's not broken. Um, the drummer's got like 100 different little things he has to make sure it's going right, and they don't always go right. Sometimes it breaks down. All this, and there's a bunch of little stuff, but it's kind of this like weird anxiety thing that drummers have about, oh, this or this is broke, and then if I'm on the road, I can't get to it and fix it, or this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like from a gear tech standpoint, it's too much stuff. There's so much stuff to worry about.
You ever bust a head on the road and not be able to replace it immediately?
Oh, of course. Or you bust one and you forget to replace it, like or something like that. Just forget. Oh well, we'll get it. It's not like playing. You can't just keep a stack of drum heads in the car when you're on tour. You have to go find a store and buy the stuff and fix it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's part of it though. But I don't think people that don't play drums or they just see your band play, they don't realize what it took and like how expensive that pile of mess you have sitting up there is.
And how long it takes to set up compared to the guitar player.
Oh yeah, it's double the time.
People
double
probably
the time,
realize that.
We take up more space,
Yeah.
Also, drummers are musicians too, man. We have feelings just like the singer and guitar player do.
100%, man. I'm gonna cheat on number 2. I'm gonna ask a side question. What's the hardest song for you on drums that you play? Any band, if you don't want to mention the new recordings that are happening, I don't blame you. But just maybe one everybody's familiar with right now. What's the hardest one where when you see it on the set or Lee calls it out, you go, shit, I gotta play this one.
Well, and this is going to seem counterintuitive, but Lee Bains has a song called Crooked Letters.
Yeah.
And it's a real simple, it's not a hard song to play. It's just slow and deliberate. And it takes you out of your comfort zone when you're doing all this rock and roll stuff. And then you have to come down and play this like real chill, solid number. Like it's actually kind of a hard one.
Kind of in the pocket, would you say?
Yeah, well, you kind of almost have to keep it real straight instead of like lay back on it. Like normally you would kind of sit back on the beat a little bit. This one you got to be right on top of it, and it's kind of a tough one.
Yeah.
When we recorded it, it has like a loop that plays. It kind of was like the metronome for the song.
Mm-hmm.
It took all day for me, and I felt like the worst drummer in the world when we were trying to record it. I was like, I can't play to that. I can't make it sound on time. I'm lagging behind, or I eventually did it. It's all psychological stuff, you just have to block it out and do it.
I wouldn't have predicted that one either. You're right, man. So here's question 3 for you. You are, to me, one of the most chill guys. Happy usually, chill usually. I don't know that I've seen you mad. Tell me something that stresses you out, though.
Oh, man. There's nothing, Blaine. I am chill, like pretty much all the time. Like it's trivial stuff that I get mad about. Like it's bad officiating in SEC football games, and it's missing the free throws in the Sweet 16. That kind of thing is what gets me mad. I think I don't get mad at people for real because people mess up. People are do things. You just forgive people and move on. I don't live with that, man.
That's awesome. What's your secret?
I don't know, man. I just be dumb and don't worry about it. That kind of thing.
All right, I'll take it. And that's our last question for you, man. And it is the same question for everyone. What's done up real good for you?
I don't know, man. Shoot. I don't know. I've been like sitting around watching TV, and I've decided I don't really like TV shows very much. Like most people like all these, you need to watch this series or this series. I said, man, this series is boring, dude. Huh. But I watched, I think it's called Your Honor on.
Yeah.
It's got Bryan Cranston, and
we watched that one.
Fantastic. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one, and it really made me want to go to New Orleans really bad.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, set in New Orleans. Yeah, that was a good one earlier this year.
That one was great, and I do have some friends that made a record recently. Dree Lear, Jackie Laquita's Hamrick and her band made a record recently, and it's really good.
What's the spelling on that band name?
Dreeleer, Dreeleer, I believe. I'm sorry if I messed that up. But
I'll check it out.
Great band. It's real heavy stuff.
Okay.
It's kind of like 90s power pop, but like it's kind of heavy. It's awesome. Pretty fun stuff. Good driving music.
Okay. That's good, man. I'm also going to cheat on number 4. I'm going to say, for Done Up Real Good, who's your favorite Alabama football player of all time?
Now? Of all time?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I guess... Shit, man. Well, you know, you got to go Tommy Lewis, right? You know the story of Tommy Lewis? I believe it's 1954... I believe it was the Liberty Bowl. He came off the sideline to make a tackle.
Yes. I thought that was the guy you were going to reference.
It's literally my favorite story of all time.
And the famous quote, right?
Yeah, just too much Bama. Too much Bama in me.
I've got a pen that says
I can relate. I can relate, you know? Just like, I know that guy that poisoned those trees said that and was, you know, when he got arrested and all that. But, you know, he did. It wasn't like he was lying.
Yeah, that's what it'll do to you, man.
It's not always the most positive or healthy thing to be a fan of, but you know we love it. Yeah. And big Roll Tide. How'd you like that championship?
Loved it. Love a championship, man. You gotta admire what Nick Saban's able to do year after year.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. Everybody thinks he's going to quit. I don't know about it. He seems pretty spry to me.
He seems more spry than I am, and he's 30 years older than I am. 35
I know.
Years.
My back's hurting right now.
Mine too. All right, man. Thank you for joining. Let's remind everyone where they can find your music because it is worth the listen. I want to specifically do the Williamson Brothers because that's coming out.
Sure. The Bandcamp is, I think you said it earlier, I believe it's Williamson Brothers AL at Bandcamp.
I think that's right.
And we'll be posting info about physical copies and if we do any shows and stuff on Williamson Brothers RTR on Instagram.
Very fitting, RTR. Blake, you and I have known each other for probably 12 years, and it's never a dull moment. It's always fun to catch up, dude.
Yeah, Blaine, this is a pleasure to talk to you, man. I miss you. I miss your face. You know. Well, I wish I could hug your neck. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, well, I think shows are going to kick up late this summer, man, and I'll be out at one of them.
Well, let's hope so, man. And if not, let's make a point to get together.
Let's do it. As for our viewers, there's more to be found at the Alabama Take. Blake Williamson, it's always a pleasure. We will talk to everyone later.